unleashing your inner giant, the power of now in a world of later. Welcome to a journey that's about to shake the very foundations of how you see yourself and the world around you. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into a conversation that's not just inspiring, it's revolutionary. We're going to explore insights that have the power to transform lives, shatter limitations, and ignite a fire in your soul that'll burn brighter than you ever thought possible. Now, before we jump in, I want to introduce you to the incredible mind behind the wisdom we're about to unpack. Tanika Lucas, a name that's become synonymous with resilience, innovation, and unapologetic success. Tanika isn't just a motivational speaker or a business guru. She's a force of nature, a woman who's turned adversity into rocket fuel for her dreams. Her impact on the business world, particularly for underrepresented entrepreneurs, has been nothing short of seismic. She's not just climbing the ladder of success, she's building new ladders and inviting others to join her ascent. So, buckle up, folks. We're about to embark on a roller coaster ride of truth bombs, paradigm shifts, and calls to action that'll leave you breathless, inspired, and ready to conquer the world. Let's kick things off with a question that might make you squirm in your seat. How many times have you hit the snooze button on your dreams? Come on, be honest. We've all done it. I'll start that business tomorrow. I'll pursue that passion next year. I'll change my life someday. Well, I've got news for you. Someday isn't a day of the week, and tomorrow never comes. Tanika Lucas puts it bluntly, your dreams don't wait, and neither should you. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, easy for her to say, she doesn't know my struggles. But here's where it gets interesting. She does. Tanika's journey wasn't a smooth ride on a golden escalator to success. It was more like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops during a snowstorm. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine growing up in a neighborhood where success stories were as rare as unicorns, where the ceiling of expectations was so low, you had to duck just to dream. That was Tanika's reality. But instead of accepting those limitations, she looked at that ceiling and said, watch me punch a hole right through you. And punch through she did. But it wasn't easy. There were nights when failure felt like her only friend. Days when giving up seemed like the only sane option. But here's where Tanika's story takes a turn that'll give you goosebumps. She realized something profound, something that changed everything. She realized that waiting for the perfect moment is like waiting for a train at an airport. It's never going to come. The perfect moment is now. Right now, this very second as you're listening to these words. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but I'm not ready. I don't have enough money / time / experience / connections. Let me stop you right there. That voice in your head is not the voice of reason. It's the voice of fear. And fear, my friends, is a liar. Tanika shares a story that illustrates this perfectly. Early in her career, she was offered a chance to pitch her business idea to a room full of potential investors. The catch? She had just 48 hours to prepare. Now, the old Tanika might have said, I'm not ready, I need more time. But the new Tanika, the one who understood the power of now, she grabbed that opportunity with both hands. She spent those 48 hours in a frenzy of preparation. She didn't sleep, barely ate, and when she walked into that room, she was running on nothing but adrenaline and determination. And you know what? She nailed it. She walked out of there with funding that kickstarted her empire. The moral of the story? Readiness is a myth. You become ready by doing, not by waiting. But let's get real for a moment. The road isn't always smooth. Tanika doesn't sugarcoat this fact. She acknowledges that the road may be tough, but resilience turns obstacles into stepping stones. This isn't just motivational fluff. It's a fundamental shift in perspective that can change everything. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. Every rock and every crevice that seems to block your path isn't an obstacle. It's a handhold, a foothold, a way up. That client who rejected your pitch, that's not a failure. It's feedback. That promotion you didn't get, it's not a dead end. It's a detour to something even better. This mindset isn't about blind optimism. It's about pragmatic positivity. It's about looking at the world not as it is, but as it could be, and then rolling up your sleeves to make it happen. Let me share another story from Tanika's journey that drives this point home. There was a time when her business was on the brink of collapse. The economy had taken a nosedive, clients were dropping like flies, and her bank account was emptier than a politician's promises. Most people would have thrown in the towel, but Tanika, she saw this crisis as an opportunity. She pivoted her business model, reached out to her network, and worked harder than she ever had before. And you know what? Not only did her business survive, it thrived. She emerged from that crisis stronger, more resilient, and with a business model that was recession-proof. That's the power of seeing obstacles as opportunities. It's about having the audacity to look at a brick wall and see a door. Now let's talk about something that might make some of you uncomfortable: your worth. Tanika emphasizes knowing your worth and not letting others determine who you are or what you can do. This is crucial. In a world that's constantly trying to put us in boxes to limit our potential based on preconceived notions, standing firm in your self-worth is a revolutionary act. Think about the last time someone told you couldn't do something. How did it make you feel? Did you believe them? Or did you use it as fuel to prove them wrong? Tanika's message is clear. Your worth isn't determined by others' opinions of you. It's determined by your belief in yourself and your willingness to back that belief with action. This isn't about arrogance or overconfidence. It's about a quiet, unshakable faith in your own potential. It's about looking in the mirror and saying, I am capable, I am worthy, and I will not let anyone else's limitations become my reality. Tanika shares a powerful anecdote about this. Early in her career, she was the only woman of color in a boardroom full of older, white executives. One of them looked her straight in the eye, said, "Sweetie, maybe you should let the big boys handle this." Now, the old Tanika might have shrunk back, might have doubted herself. But not this Tanika. She stood up, looked him dead in the eye, and said, "Sir, I am one of the big boys. Now, shall we get down to business?" That room fell so silent, you could hear a pin drop. And from that moment on, no one in that room ever underestimated her again. That's the power of knowing your worth. It's not about waiting for others to validate you. It's about validating yourself and letting the world catch up. But let's dig deeper. Tanika talks about keeping pushing, keeping walking towards the mark. This imagery is powerful. Life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And in this marathon, consistency trumps intensity every single time. It's not about making huge leaps every day. It's about taking steady steps, even when you don't feel like it, even when the path isn't clear. Imagine you're walking through a fog. You can't see far ahead, but you know your destination. Each step might feel uncertain, but as long as you keep moving in the right direction, you'll eventually break through. That's what pushing forward looks like in real life. It's showing up day after day, even when you don't see immediate results. Tanika's own journey is a testament to this. She didn't build her empire overnight. It was built day by day, decision by decision, small win by small win. There were days when progress seemed impossible, when every step forward was met with 2 steps back, but she kept pushing, kept walking towards her mark. And here's where it gets really interesting. Tanika speaks about watching how God has favor and grace over your life. Now, regardless of your personal beliefs, there's a profound truth here. It's about recognizing that there are forces at work in the universe larger than ourselves. It's about having faith, not necessarily in a religious sense, but in the sense that if you put in the work, if you stay true to your path, things have a way of aligning in your favor. This isn't about sitting back and waiting for miracles. It's about putting in the work and then having the faith that your efforts will bear fruit, even if you can't see how just yet. It's about planting seeds today and trusting that they'll grow, even if you can't see them sprouting. Tanika shares a beautiful story about this. There was a time when she was working on a project that seemed doomed to fail. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, but she kept pushing, kept believing, and then out of nowhere, an opportunity arose. A chance encounter led to a partnership that not only saved the project, but elevated it beyond her wildest dreams. Now, you could call that luck, but Tanika calls it favor because she believes that when you're aligned with your purpose, when you're putting in the work and staying true to your path, the universe has a way of meeting you halfway. But let's get practical for a moment. How do we actually apply these insights in our daily lives? It starts with a simple shift in mindset. Instead of seeing challenges as roadblocks, view them as opportunities for growth. When faced with a difficult situation, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? Next, it's about taking action, consistent, deliberate action. Set goals, but focus more on developing the daily habits that will get you there. Want to start a business? Focus on learning one new thing about entrepreneurship every day. Want to improve your relationships. Make it a point to have one meaningful conversation each day. Remember, greatness isn't found in waiting. It's built in the moments you dare to take action. Every day, challenge yourself to do something that scares you, something that pushes you out of your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting when you usually stay quiet. Maybe it's reaching out to someone you admire for advice. These small acts of courage compound over time, building your confidence and expanding your capabilities. But here's the real secret. Embrace failure. Yes, you heard that right. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every no gets you closer to a yes. Every mistake teaches you what not to do next time. Tanika's journey is a testament to this. She didn't succeed despite her challenges. She succeeded because of them. They forged her into the powerhouse she is today. Tanika loves to say, fall 7 times, stand up 8. It's not about never falling. It's about always getting back up. And each time you get up, you're stronger, wiser, and one step closer to your goals. Now, let's talk about the power of community. Tanika's message isn't just about individual growth. It's about lifting others as you climb. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you to be better. Be that person for others. Your success isn't just about you. It's about the impact you can have on the world around you. Tanika shares a powerful story about this. When she first started succeeding, she was tempted to keep her knowledge to herself. After all, she had worked hard for it. Why should she share it? But then she realized something profound. Success isn't a finite resource. By lifting others, she wasn't diminishing her own success. She was amplifying it. So she started mentoring young entrepreneurs, particularly women and people of color who didn't see themselves represented in the business world. And you know what happened? Her own business grew exponentially. The connections she made, the insights she gained from teaching others, it all fed back into her own success. That's the power of community. It's not just about what you can get, it's about what you can give. And often what you give comes back to you tenfold. As we start to wrap up, I want you to really internalize this message. Your life, your potential, your impact is all waiting for you to claim it. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Now, today is yours. Own it. Tanika's insights remind us that life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. It's about finding joy in the journey, strength in the struggle, and purpose in every moment. So here's my challenge to you. When you finish listening to this, I want you to do one thing, just one thing that moves you closer to your dreams. Send that email you've been putting off. Have that conversation you've been avoiding. Take that first step towards the goal that scares you. And then do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. Remember, you are the author of your own story. Your past doesn't define you. Your actions today do. You have the power to rewrite your narrative, to defy expectations, to create a life that inspires others. You are capable of more than you know. You are stronger than you believe. And your time is now. The world isn't just waiting for what you can bring, it's desperately in need of it. Your ideas, your passion, your unique perspective, these are the things that will shape the future. So, will you rise to the challenge? Will you embrace the power of now? Will you step into your greatness? Not someday, but today. The choice is yours. But remember, as you stand at this crossroads, that the greatest risk isn't in taking action, it's in not taking action. It's in letting your dreams slip away, one someday at a time. You have within you a giant, a force of nature capable of moving mountains, of changing lives, of leaving a legacy. It's time to unleash that giant. It's time to show the world what you're made of. So go forth, be bold, be brave, be the person you were always meant to be. The world is waiting, and your time is now. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery and empowerment. Now go out there and make your mark. The future is yours to shape. What will you do with it?